It's Lee here from the Customer Success Team to continue with part 2 of the charts overview. So here I've added a spouse for our sample client. Her name is Jane and she's going to be a couple years younger than John, so that in the general settings we're going to indicate that John is going to pass away before Jane. So when John passes away at age 75, Jane is 69 years old, but her projections are going to continue until she's 100. So John also has some insurance in his plan, which is going to impact our charts. So that's why I wanted to point this out for you. If we take a look at the death benefit here for $175,000 is what Jane will receive when John passes away. And there's also a cash surrender value that's increasing over time. Now these numbers are just hypothetical numbers for this demonstration. Close out of there and point out that there's a corporation where John owns 100% of this corporation. He's receiving a salary and also some dividends. So here are capital dividends he's receiving before retirement, and then at retirement, non-eligible dividends, eligible dividends, and capital dividends. But when John passes away, which is indicated here by his projections, end when he's 75, but Jane is 70 in that year afterwards, and her projections continue on. So we have non-eligible dividends for Jane up until the point where there's no longer value there in the investments. So now what we want to do is jump over to John's planning page. So I'm just selecting John for his button up here. And if I look at the charts on John's planning page, it's just going to be his chart. So we see John's age at the bottom of the chart and it ends at 75. The same thing is going to happen if I go to Jane's planning page and again select the charts for Jane. And here we're going to see that impact of John's death and the net worth now it's fully in her name. But what we probably want to do is take a look at the combine page. So again, combined at the top left, and then click the charts button. Note that also in the report, the charts are going to be for them as a couple as well. Here in the net worth chart, here's the age, and this age refers to Jane. So we've written that at the bottom for you. Jane's age, she's the longest living spouse, and so that's the person that we're going to refer to their age in the chart. So in the net worth chart, if I just put my mouse here over the first year, I can see that there's additional information that we didn't have in that first video. So there is insurance. The cash value of the insurance here is $45,000. There's a corporate net worth as well. And remember, we always have the option here to go to the full screen, or we can just hover our mouse over any of these different headings and we're going to see just that information in the chart. So if I hover over non-registered, there's just the non-registered portion of the net worth. We have the corporate net worth and the insurance cash value, and that goes away once the actual insurance death benefit is paid out when John passes away. Next, let's take a look at the sources of income chart, because here we have more sources of income than in that first video that I did. Again, we can tell a story. So we have that employment income at first for them as a couple, the pensions that will reduce at Jane's age 69. John passes away, and that's why the pensions afterwards are just her portion of the survivor pension. We have the OAS and the CPP. And in this chart, if I hover over the other, so this other is going to be the other non-taxable $175,000. That's the death benefit that Jane receives when John passes away. So I can also just deselect that and it will expand out the rest of the items in the chart, just to zoom in a little bit while I'm talking about where the other sources of income are coming from. So in this plan, we also have some LIF income. We have eligible dividends, a small amount, non-eligible dividends, and capital dividends. So I hope that this overview has provided a few tips and tricks to use the charts to better educate and communicate with your clients. You can always reach out for help at our help center and give us a call, send us an email, and we'll be happy to help.